Hello and welcome. I'm so grateful you're here with me. I'm Valerie, and today I want to invite you into the journey that are both creative and deeply transformative. It's called Mirror Field. I'm Transpersonal Art Therapist, creative facilitator, and the founder of Active Kreative. For the last 15 years, I work with art healing and human transformation. My background is in visual arts, and therapeutic practice has led me to guide people through creative processes that unlock their emotional regulation and get them into the deep personal growth journey. But more than that, um, my story with mirrors began way in 2010 when I traveled to Italy and I was standing in front of this timeless art, sometimes um, taking me into a world of suddenly understanding that everyone has a different perception of art, a language that I had always understood but nearly fully articulated. I saw not just paintings and sculptures, but the perception of an architecture of perception itself. And as I continued my visual art practices, I became fascinated with reflection, illusion, perception, and I explored the idea that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Yet, the beholder's eye is never neutral. It's shaped, conditioned, and sometimes distorted by past experiences, by traumas and conditioning from generations and generations. So 15 years later, here I am exploring the mirror field, a living practice that helps us recognize that the world is our mirror. Think of this like just a quantum experiment show that particles behave differently when observed. Our lives also change when we witness others, when we witness ourselves, and the act of that perception itself becomes a medicine, a healing tool. So that's what the mirror field is about, is where the shadow becomes the light, a projection dissolves into the presence, and the soul remembers itself. So who you truly are, how can you be seen and see yourself? So coming from ancient tradition, Jungian psychology, the famous Louise Hay mirror work, when we stand before the mirror and speak in words of kindness to yourself, we bring into the mirror field all these knowledges. And mirror is not just a glass, it's every relationship, every reflection, every experience lived and felt. Each is becoming an invitation to see where are we holding illusions and to dissolve them through our awareness of that. So shadow work becomes safe and very creative space. Instead of going into hidden parts, we're actually welcoming the art making, the ritual, the journaling, the gentle witnessing. And we go through these four paths stages, came from alchemy of Jungian psychology, and for medicine wheels directions, which is Nigreda, Albedo, Citrinas, and Rubedo. And I will go through the stages with you along this course. And these four stages are like the four corners of the world and four directions. So we'll go in the cycle of those transformation of life, the alchemical path of it. And by walking through them, we remember the wholeness that we hold. The Mirror Field course is a 9 weeks journey, and it comes to be 63 days, which is a 9, long enough for a new way of seeing to take root, and it's short enough to stay focused and keep that intention. And each week will offer a different stage of that stage, from remembering the mask of self, the mirror within, and you will all have this beautiful mirror guidebook, mirror field workbook that you can use, and every week it follows why, what, how, affirmation, the intention setting, the deeper theme that we're exploring. So we'll go into explaining each stages, the concept of it. Then we will go into the modalities we're going to use and the tools that we're going to use, and then it will outline the practices that you will go through. And we'll finish with affirmation, with is activation part, to move and carry forward. So you'll receive this weekly workbook with step-by-step guidance, reflections, affirmations, and notes. And because it's about yourself and seeing yourself clearly, to meet your shadow with compassion and go through creative, exciting modalities, you will see how it transforms you and shapes you into different personality. And to remember that perception is neutral. It's you most the powerful tool of transformation. You become that shaping part of it, and ultimately the benefit of this program is a new relationship with yourself. It's become kinder, more resilient, more whole, and start seeing yourself and remembering who you are, where seeing yourself changes the reality around you, changes the reality you live. I invite you to join me on this 9-week journey. And if you have any questions, please directly contact me about the mirror field and the modalities that we're going to use, as well as it will be all outlined in this workbook that you will receive weekly for each stage. Again, very important, this is not a substitute for any psychotherapy or medical treatment. It is a guided creative journey. If any strong emotion arises through the practice, we always encourage you to pause, ground yourself, reach out to qualified health professional. Also, making sure that you have your weekly practices each week, which is grounding exercises in the book and following them. And if you want to go deeper into personal support, I also offer one-on-one sessions, and you're always in charge of your pace and your boundaries. You can go deeper or make it easier and nurturing for yourself. It's up to you. The course is for anyone who feels the call to look into yourself. You can invite anyone who you think might be benefiting from it. It could be healers, coaches, therapists, creatives that seek that reconnection and inspiration. Anyone that goes through life transitioning, changes, uncertainty, who wants to be seen and remember who they are. So you don't need any experience in art, of course. You don't need to know how to draw. You don't need to be a psychologist. You simply need the courage to show up and be here.